Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are, and today's video is going to be an attempt to a series I wanted to start on my channel beginning of this year. Yeah, it was beginning of this year because before I moved. And it's a series where I have all my things from like a certain category, like today is primers, and I review all of them that I own really quickly for you so you can get like a good gist on primers that I love and don't. Obviously, if I don't love them though, or if I don't at least like them, they wouldn't be here. But today we're going to talk about all of my primers, give you little mini reviews of each. I have 2 containers worth of primers right here. These containers are from Target if you're wondering. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to today's video. Alright guys, as always, all makeup on this channel is cruelty-free, so all the products in today's video. Also, I tried like a dark eye look today, especially with like smoky lower lash line with dark black liquid eyeshadows and stuff. So let me know what you think of this really cool toned darker look, because you know I'm not experienced with black eyeshadow, but I'm trying. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video, which is primers, and I've said that like 4 times so far. It's just a weird day, you guys. I didn't even plan on filming, but I was like, my makeup looks good, let's go ahead and do it. So the first thing is one I've not been putting down at all, like I've been using almost every day. So this is advertised as a moisturizer, but it is a really good primer. And I use it as a primer. I don't use it just as a moisturizer. I think I've used it once or twice to like spot moisturize stuff. But this is the Juno & Co. Moonshine Miracle Cream. I am an affiliate with them, but like that's not why I'm talking about it. It comes in this cute packaging, right? And I was like, okay, it's a creamy primer. I freaking love this thing. Like, I like it so much more than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be fancy packaging. Juno & Co. usually has, like, really, like, cheaper products. And they're usually good cheap products. Like, I love their microfiber sponges and everything. But I didn't expect to love this as much as I do. I've made it's kind of hard with the brightness on the camera and everything. I've made a good chunk in here. I even stuck my pinky down today and it was like, how much is actually in here? It's actually a really good amount of product, and I'll have this for at least another month or 2 before I run out. But consistently for over a month now, I've been using this almost every day. It really gives my skin a good moisture. It smells really fresh and clean. It kind of smells like a really, really light, ooh, that sounds bad. It's like a cortisone smell, but like not cortisone-y medically smelling. It's just a really light cream smell. It just goes on really nicely and smooth on the skin, and I thoroughly enjoy this primer. Like, I am definitely buying another one of these when I run out of this. This is going to be one of those things I'm going to keep repurchasing because I really like it. It is like, I don't want to say it's my favorite primer because I have a favorite primer that I like die for, but this it's up there. It's smacking heads with my favorite primer if it's not my favorite. So let's talk about my actual favorite primer, and this thing's kind of light these days. So this is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hydrating Primer. It is really good for sensitive skin. If there's any like, come on, focus, there you go. If there's any like redness or irritation on my skin, or it's really dry, I reach for this every time. It's not much of a scent, again, like this. These 2 products don't really have too much of a fragrance. I find them both to be just like a white kind of creamy consistency. This one is a little more on the waterier side. This one's more of a thicker cream if you're comparing the texture, consistency of these things. But if there's anything like you have any redness, you have any like warmth on your skin, you have any irritation, this is the perfect primer for you. It really soothes everything down, and I love it. So this is my favorite primer. These are my 2 favorite primers. We get the favorites out of the way here, like the favorites. Like, I love these 2. I don't know. This is very light. I believe this one's $35. This one's 20 something. So, depending on which one I run out of first, I'll buy one of these and repurchase it. But like, it's a lot to buy both of them at one time for me. But we'll see which one I run out of first, which one I repurchase. But they're both like have good hurtings on. They're like my most used for sure. Next up we have 2. Hold on. So I know these are technically like multi-use products. I do have a ton of sprays in my collection that are multi-use. Like the Milky Mist from Pixi and everything is a multi-use kind of thing. Is there a train in Florida? Okay, I don't know what that was. But these are the Smashbox priming waters. I got both of these from secondhand places. So this is from Nordstrom Rack. I mean, it's not secondhand, it's not used, but it's like a discount store. So this one is from Nordstrom Rack. It is the Aura Shield from the like crystallized collection, and this one is the Serene Greens primer water from like the Nicole Concilio summery smelly ones I got from TJ Maxx. These are both $15, I believe, at both of the discounted stores. So I like the primer waters. That's why I have 2 giant ones of it. I remember when I got the original one, it was like a sample size, and I like it a lot more. These just don't really do anything for me. Like, I'll use them. I like the grassy smell of this one. It says serene greens, but honestly it just smells like grass, and I'm kind of into it. This one doesn't have too much of a fragrance, honestly, but I mean, I like the hydration. After I go in with like a base primer, sometimes I'll add an extra like spray on top of that primer, and I'll use these or my Pixi one I'm going to talk about in a second. But these don't really do anything for me. I don't really reach for them that often unless I'm going as like a secondary primer for like extra moisture on the skin, but I don't generally use these on their own. And they're both still pretty full. This one's newer than this one, but I just don't find myself reaching for them that much. So I feel like the original primer water I like more than these scented ones, or maybe I've just outgrown that product. So the other mist I have in here is from Pixi. This is about halfway, can we see? It's right here. It's about halfway used. This is the Rose Glow Mist with 7 flower oils. I really like this. It has a really good fragrance to it. It's floral, but it's not like overwhelmingly floral. The only thing I don't like about this is the little nozzle here is kind of wobbly. Like, it kind of just like leans backwards or leans to side. It doesn't just go straight down. It is a little bit wobbly of a pump, but overall this is really good. I do find this has a little bit more oils in it than say the primer waters. So if you want something a little more oil in it, you need that for your skin, I would reach for this one over the primer waters, and this one is slightly cheaper if you want to go for like retail prices of everything. But if you have like really oily skin, I wouldn't reach for this one because all this, what is it? The 7 flower oils, it is kind of like an oily consistency, but it's not oily, but you know, it kind of has like the oil beads inside of it. Shake it up really well, of course, but if you have really oily skin, I wouldn't reach for this one. I'd reach for more of a primer water. But if you have dry skin, this is a really good option for you, and I quite enjoy this one. Next up is my other First Day Beauty primer, and I love this one. This is my first one, and I fell in love. And I was like, oh my god, this is unstoppable, and it smells so good. And then I tried this one, and this one like took my breath away. So this one is way lighter than this one is. This one has a lot more product in here. This is my First Day Beauty love of primers. So this is the Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer Moisturizer. This smells, I personally love coconutty smells. This one has, it's not as like white as the other one. It's just so smooth. It smells delicious. It's a really sweet fragrance, like a really sweet artificial coconutty smell. I'm just gonna prime my entire arm with this one. It smells so good. It smells like a candy. It smells like a candy you'd get from Five Below, because they have like those really sweet ones, you know, and they're kind of off kilter, but it smells delicious. It's really soothing to the skin. It is a little more slick in consistency than the hyaluronic primer. I don't find this one as soothing or like calming to the skin, but it's still a really good slick smooth primer over the skin that smells fantastic. So both of these are like really good. This one just peaks it out for me because my skin does get irritated a lot. Next up, this one I probably need to throw away soon because it's getting kind of old, but this is the Becca First Light Priming Filter Instant Complexion Refresh. It's the purple one. They also have like a kind of tan goldy one. I prefer the purpley one. This one has a really nice finish to it, but it's really nothing revolutionary. It's a slick finish. It's not too oily and it's not too tacky. It's really more slick than tacky. There's not much tackiness to it. It's not purple when it goes on your skin. It rubs in really nicely. It's like a little bit of a barrier between your foundation and your skin. It doesn't necessarily like soak into your skin too well. It doesn't sit on top of the skin, but it doesn't really soak in and like feel any benefits of it. It's just kind of alright. I liked it a lot more when I first got it, but I've tried a lot of other things since then. So this one's like, it's okay. It's not worth the price, I don't think. Next up is another spray. I still have this one since before they had like the cruelty-free controversy. So this is the Wet n Wild Coconut 3-in-1 Priming Water. I love the smell of coconut. This smells really artificial. It's fine for the price. It's about as good as the Smashbox Priming Waters, but a little less hydrating. Just kind of sits on top of the skin. It's a very intense pump, but it's not terrible. But I don't ever reach for it, ever, because it smells really artificial. Coming from someone who just put like smoothie primer on her arm. Okay, so next up I have 2 of these. They're slightly different. So these are the Laura Mercier foundation primers. This is the hydrating foundation primer, and this is the foundation primer, but it's the oil-free one. There's also a regular one, but I don't have the regular one anymore. So we have the oil-free and we have the hydrating. Personally, I like the hydrating one more just because my skin is really dry. But if you have more combination or oily skin, this oil-free one is really good. It makes a nice slick barrier. This one definitely has like that more moisturizing feeling to it. It's a little more liquidy to it. But I really like this one on days where my skin isn't super dry. It feels really nice and slick. It feels like a nice canvas you're putting down before you put foundation down. And this one feels like skincare a little bit more. So depending on what you like, I like both of these a lot. I've been using this one more, the oil-free one, because it is a little newer to me. But overall, I think I like the hydrating one just a little bit more. Next up is one that I love, right? I love, but I never use. And I don't know what it is. I think it's because I have so many other ones that have like good skincare benefits. This one I never reach for, but it's fantastic and it smells delicious. It smells so good, and it's the Tarte Base Tape Hydrating Primer. I still just smell that smoothie one I just put down from First Aid Beauty on my arm, but this smells, it's really white, right? It smells fantastic. Like if you like coconutty, like beachy smells, this smells so freaking good. Like it smells like a delicious suntan coconut dream. And it's like a slick primer. It has a little bit of tackiness to the skin when you really rub it in, so it does have like a good base quality to it for the base face. But the overall, like if you buy this, it's because you love the smell. It's not because it does anything revolutionary. It is a good tacky primer. It's a really good base. It smells so good though. And this does come in a mini size if you just want to try it out. You can get like at the Ulta, like the little front area you walk in, like the little grab and go section. They have little mini ones of these if you want to try it out. But it's really good. It smells fantastic. I love coconut scents though, so I'm kind of biased, but I never reached for it. Next up is the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1. I don't really know why I bought this. This is the small one. They have like a regular size and they also have like an extra large one right now. But this is the 3-in-1 refreshing primer and setting spray. Well, refreshing primer and setting spray is only two things. Prime, set, refresh. Okay, I guess refreshing does count as something. But this is what it looks like. This is a very internet famous product. I reach for this once in a while. Again, I kind of use it. I will use this on its own as just a primer spray, but sometimes I use this as a secondary primer. I'll go in with something like the Moonshine or the First Aid Beauty, and then I'll spray this for like a little bit extra moisture on my skin, but I will use this on its own on occasion. I find the pump a little intense. I feel like the priming waters by Smashbox have a much more finer, misty pump. This one is a little bit more intense, but I do kind of like it, and it does not have a very strong fragrance, so you can keep pumping on your skin if you really want more hydration throughout the day and not have to worry about scent on your skin. Adam works with animals, right? So sometimes he sends me snaps of animals and I'm like dying because they're so cute. I love pets. Okay, that's a distraction and a half. Let's continue. We only have two more. So next up we have the No Problem Priming Water by Touch in Soul. We got this in an Ipsy box. I believe it was Ipsy. And one of you guys in my comment section when I opened this said Poplux, Nady loves this. So I was like, he loves it. I'm gonna give it a try. And it's fine. Like I used it when I first got it. It's cool, right? I think I got it in last month's box. I've used it a few times. It has a really nice tackiness to skin if you really like a tacky primer. I like the oil dripper on some primers. This one is very controlled, so it doesn't like drip out on you if you don't want it to. So I do like that about it. It does have a light rose fragrance. So if you don't really like a fragrance, maybe you wouldn't like this one, but it's not super intense. This definitely is a nice, like, put on your fingers, rub it in, like, massage it into your skin. It leaves a nice tackiness if you're wanting a tacky base. And you can buy it on like Mercari and Poshmark and stuff for discounted because it came in an Ipsy. So if it comes in an Ipsy box, you can get it for cheaper than retail price usually. So I do like this. I don't use it too often, but if I want like a rose fragrance instead of like a coconut scented, everything else I have is like coconut scented or non-scented, this is a nice option, and it does have a really sticky base. This is probably my stickiest, tackiest, not sticky, sticky sounds bad, tackiest base primer. And last up we have another Becca product. So this is the Becca Skin Love. I also use the Glow Shield Mist that came with this. It was like a little duo set. I love that mist. I heard it's going on sale or whatever. It's on TJ Maxx, like the Glow. I'll put a picture of it here. If you see this at TJ Maxx, you guys, because someone found it there, buy it. I love it. It's a really good like dewy setting mist, but it doesn't leave any glitter on the skin. Like I've been using it lately to set my foundation, and like it leaves a nice like glow without being glittery or shiny or oily. Like it's just a really good setting spray. And I love sprays. But this is the Skin Love Brightening and Blur Primer. I do find that this has a little bit of a good blurring quality. It is one of those like, I don't know how to describe it because it's not silicone-y. I always think of like when I see this kind of because it's like kind of an off color, I always think of eraser texture. Don't ask me why I think of that, because it's not accurate, but if you guys know what I mean, it's kind of like one of those blurring, smoothing, kind of like, it feels kind of weird on the skin, but like in a good way. It feels like velvety, I guess. I guess that's the best way to describe it, not erasery. It feels velvety. So I absolutely love this. I think it has a really nice, like, refreshing fragrance to it. I love this a lot. I feel like it doesn't have as much hydration as I usually want in a primer, just because I do have really dry skin. But if my skin is feeling good that day, or I've been taking care of it, or it's not been extremely dry and cold outside, this is so good. Like, it definitely has that pore blurring quality that you want. If you like the Professional by Benefix, I've had little samples of that before. It's basically the same thing with a better scent and a little more hydrating to the skin than that. So if you like that, you want a little more hydrating and something cruelty free, this Skin Love primer is really good and I quite enjoy it. Anyways, you guys, these are my primers. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please let me know your favorite primer in the comment section down below. I'm always on the hunt for something new. I am totally into base face stuff lately, so much more than I am like buying tons of palettes. So like concealers, foundations, primers, setting powders, like this is what I'm into right now, and I would love to hear your favorite primer in the comment section down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. All these products will be linked down below if you want any of them, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.